Hey, welcome to the Citrus County Chronicle, where we're sitting down with all of those candidates that you're going to see on your primary ballot. And with me now, I have one of our 4 school board candidates that you're going to see on your ballot for the 1 school board race. It's a little confusing. Let me say that again. There's 1 race, 4 candidates. So I have Laura Gatling Wright with me. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So just as a reminder for folks, you know, the primary, it's always important to vote in every primary, right?
I believe so, yes.
Absolutely. And so, but this primary in particular, many of those races that you see on your ballot will be decided in the primary. So if you have your vote by mail ballot that you've already received and you haven't turned it in, please turn it in. Early voting is getting ready to begin. And of course, you've got election day on August the 20th. But enough about that. Laura, so tell us a little bit about you, your candidacy, your background.
Sure. So I have been here my whole life. I was born and raised here, right up in Inverness, and I went through the public schools here, K through 12, and I met my now husband senior year of high school, and we have 2 beautiful children. My son's entering 5th grade. His name's Harrison. And my daughter's entering 1st grade, and her name is Ridley. And I know some people are like, oh, like it's a unique name, but she's not a Brittany. Like she's definitely a Ridley. It very much suits her. So they're currently in the public schools, the same school I went to school as a child, the same school I started my career at as a teacher. So it's very full circle. And I went to school at St. Leo University, got my bachelor's in elementary education, and then I went back to St. Leo University to get my master's in educational leadership, which is great because it literally tailors you for this job. Like it teaches you about budgeting and school operations and human resources and things like that. So that was a great piece of my education. And then, like I said, I've been teaching here, for 15 years. I started at 21.
And you're still not 21?
I mean, depends. No, unfortunately, but a lot of good growth, maturing in that profession, and it really carved who I am today, and it made me, I believe, a better parent, actually, because it gave me such empathy towards children and my own, just what I want for my kids, which is really why I'm running, because I'm truly entering this as a perspective of not just an educator, but also a parent. I want what's best for my kids, and it really just boils down to caring. I mean, it's not this like profound, prolific answer like I think some people want, and it's just me wanting what's best for my community, because like I said, I was born and raised here. I'll probably die here. And my children are 3rd generation. My dad graduated from Chris River High School. I graduated from Chris River High School. My children can graduate wherever they want, depending on if they join an academy or what have you. I'm just happy to be along for the ride, and whatever they want, that's my job to support them. And that's really what it boils down to, is me running and wanting to just be a part of that for my community, for my kids, and that's really the bottom line.
Awesome. Yeah, so one of the things I wanted to talk with you about today is our community is experiencing such growth, right? There's a lot happening. Residential growth is happening. We've got some commercial growth happening, and the school system needs to be prepared for that, right? So that influx, especially on the residential side, will bring with it more student population. Mm-hmm. So what is the school district doing now, or what do you think the school district should be doing in the future to be ready for that population growth?
Well, right now, they're expanding. They have 2 expansion projects in the works at Floral City and at Rock Crusher, because they're anticipating that growth, especially at Rock Crusher, because in the next 6 to 10 years, they do plan on creating another facility there, like a Lecanto complex, because they're anticipating more growth in that central location. So facility-wise, I think they're definitely in the right direction. They're trying to accommodate that new growth and whatnot. But for me, which is a big part of my platform, is the staffing. It's great to have a shiny new building, but if you can't staff it, it doesn't help us, because I truly believe in people being the organization. Sorry, I was like, the camera.
No worries.
Sorry. And that's important to me because, like I said, I started at 21, and the most important relationships in my life that I've cultivated as an adult has been through this profession. So these are people that I genuinely care about, I have stakes in, And also, I believe that it's the best thing we can do for our students is to provide quality educators for quality education. So at the end of the day, with all the growth in student population, it does come down to staffing. And I'm trying to find ways to make people want to work here. People love to live here in Citrus County, obviously.
Sure.
They keep coming.
Yeah.
But we want them to work here. So I know pay is set by the state, you know, the baseline. And I know that it's also with what we have in our means of the budget. But I would love to provide just out-of-the-box solutions and perspectives, especially as somebody that is of that demographic of the growing families. I think we have a lot of the same needs and interests. So when I think about, well, what do I need for my family? I think about affordable benefits. I think about childcare. I think about parental leave, bereavement leave. I just think about all those things that can make Citrus County stand apart from other surrounding districts to make people want to work here. And even just maybe some flexibility with those staff work days, like for instance, sorry if this is like off trail, but
no, that's okay.
Last year we had a hurricane day, and in October they had to abruptly make up that day, but staff only. So all the staff had to go to the school sites in that October because we had like a rare like unicorn fall holiday, which like is super random. It happens sometimes and it doesn't. Where I would have liked to propose maybe a hybrid solution, where since most teachers and staff do their work from home anyways, I know I have like grading and whatnot, we could have provided them an opportunity to have that work from home type of atmosphere to maybe be a little bit more accommodating for that sudden change. So once again, I think that would help people maybe want to work here. Also, just the fact of being supported. But then, you know, let me digress from the staffing. I also want to take a note with what we're doing for the future. And I know that education, sometimes we look at it as like a little vacuum of like, oh, it's just education, but it's what happens after. Like, for instance, Mom, I want my kids to stay, you know, and I want them to have opportunity here. Because, of course, at the end of the day, I want them to be happy. But I hope their happiness could be here with opportunity. So I love that we have these academies at all these different high schools to prepare them for the workforce. And I love that we also have plans to create a teacher academy. And I thought, what a great way to put stock back in the community to have these children that want to pursue education join this teacher academy, and then also come back and work at these schools where there is opportunity. It's so full circle, and just what a great statement for our community. So I think that is something that we need to look to as well, is that we also give them a chance to provide opportunity so that they want to stay.
Awesome. Well, Laura, thank you so much for spending time with us. Thank you so much for sharing with our viewers your thoughts on where you're at and kind of the future of our school system. So.
Thanks.
Again, I just want to remind you that if you have that vote by mail ballot that you've received and you haven't turned it in yet, get that turned in. Every election is really important. This election, specifically the school board race, because there's 4 candidates, how that works, it's a nonpartisan race. And so how that works is everybody gets the chance to vote in it. So don't just think because you're a Republican or Democrat or Independent, you don't get the chance to vote in that particular race. You do, you will. And the top vote getter, if that top vote getter gets 50% of the vote, plus one,
That's important.
we have a winner in that race. Statistically, so sorry to say, I don't know if that's going to happen.
I think it is.
So what will then happen is the top 2 vote getters will move on to the November ballot.
That's the goal, is to be top 2.
There you go. So again, Laura, thank you so much for coming down today. Make sure you participate in the process. This has been the Citrus County Chronicle.